We're live. Good morning, everybody. We are moving pots. Turn this around. This is the area where I moved the pots out. These are all the pots I moved out. I gotta finish this area here, and that goes all the way over to here. And then here is the pots I moved from over there. They're gonna go. Before I moved these over here, I knew I needed to go through here because there's just there wouldn't have been enough room. That was the perfect time to pull the leaves out. They're too wet to burn at the moment, so that's all that. Good morning. I can't believe you're awake. I hope you got good sleep. Good morning, Gemini. We are that work I did the other day, I haven't finished it, so I gotta put these back. Hey, Chicken Explorers, I seen you the other day. It looked like you had some fins, like you were gonna install some fins or work on fins. And I had mentioned that I was gonna be doing this work, all this whole fence line. I got plants there. Those are bird of paradise. And all this here, if you don't, going into spring, you run into snakes and things with all these pots. Hey, Phoenix. So let's see. I need a place to put the foam. Okay. These are the cranberry hibiscus. The basil are not doing too good. The miniature roses, they don't have flowers this time of year, but they're doing good. That cutting I did, the two cuttings I did of the rubber trees, they're doing good. Those are the peace lilies I did. They don't have flowers this time. They can. Come into winter, they can. But they also have flowers in spring. Some people use them as an indoor plant here. No, I did. Thank God I got some sleep. Man, there are days I don't. I actually, last job I had, I was working. I was actually working without any sleep sometimes. Let's see. So we're gonna put the big ones in first. Smoke them if you got them. And the 10 gallon are the big ones. Some of them are a little bit bigger. They might be 15, but I try not to do anything bigger than. If you've got any injuries, I try not to do bigger than 10 because the reason why is because once you put soil in them, you can Google it and look at the weight. If you've got once you get into a 20-gallon, you're talking about over 200 pounds. So with the 10 gallons, I think they're around either just under or just over 100 pounds. So if I've got a papaya tree, for example, once you put the dirt and the plant, you're talking in the hundreds, or like maybe 125, 150 by the time you get the dirt, the plant, all that. And so you don't want. So if you've got trouble for whatever reason, if you've got trouble lifting, I recommend not doing the 20 gallon or 50. 50 gallon is what I'm really worried about. 50 gallon is what I need, but I need like 4 people to lift it. So if the trees are bigger and they need a 50 gallon, I would rather not, unless you're trying to lift like 400 pounds. To get into that corner right here, I don't know if you can see that. Do I have it facing? No, I have it facing the wrong way. Let's see here. Yeah, I had it facing the wrong way. Yes, you can put a 50 gallon on something that rolls, yes, but if you've got like 10 or 15 of them, you would need 10 or 15 things that roll, unless, so get them to a customer. Even the 10 gallon, if you're trying to get them to a customer, they may just have a minivan. So even with the 10 gallon, you're talking about like they'll try to put a tree in a minivan, and depending on the size of the tree or what kind of tree it is, the papayas, for example, the branches will snap. I've had people try to shove them in a minivan or a small SUV and they'll snap. The branches will snap. They're not strong enough. If you move papaya trees, they're not strong enough. So yeah, this corner is looking like, I think you can see. I think you can see here. This is. I'm gonna have to do that corner. I need a cameraman, but if I try to continue without doing this corner, I gotta pull out this corner. Because the big ones, I want the big ones in the back. I've thought about starting tomatoes and habaneros, even though if it gets cold, you can lose them. But if we're warm enough, like right now, we just had 2 days that warmed up a little. We have temperatures down in the 30s, which if you're up north, you don't think 30 is, you probably don't think 30 is cold. But here in Florida, we're not used to that. So if I have baby plants right now, if it's warm enough to germinate is the key. And you only need, you need 60 to 80 degrees to germinate. And then if they survive the winter, then ready in the spring, then we got a jump start. Let's see here. If anybody's commenting. Yeah, as far as like anything that rolls, yeah, they'll need that's kind of beautiful, but it's kind of blurry the way that light's coming in. I don't know how to get that glare out, but it's kind of beautiful with that light. These are the kind of boring videos. Once I get some sprouts, so we're gonna go in with a weed eater and the rake. And then we'll have enough room to put the big pots. We want the big pots in the back. So we're going in with a weed eater. Yeah, clearing a fence line is kind of boring. I don't know if that's kind of live people want to see, but if I don't get this done now, this needs to be done before spring. You want those there. So now all the big stuff is going to go here. Oh, there's a lizard. This lizard's a little darker. I don't know if he was covered by. Oh, he just went in there. Let's see if we can find him. Nope, he went in there. We'll have to pull up everyone. There he is. Oh, I don't know if you can see him. Should be able to see him. He ain't moving. There we go. Yeah, I disturbed his rest. Yeah, we're meat eating first. This a little bit smaller. These are getting close to. These might be 7. They're bigger than a 3. They might be a 5. It might be a 5 gallon. Let's see. We got 3. These are 3 gallon. So we're either gonna. At some point, I gotta go up to the store. I gotta pick up something at 10. Ugh. So I don't want to go too far out from the fence. That's about. That right there is about as far as I want to come from the fence. And here, same thing. I don't want to come out too far. 3-gallon going here. Those are a little small. There we go. There's the 1/2 gallon. We need some 1 gallon. There's 1 gallon. Okay, so that should clear out enough room. These were the ones I moved from over there. This is what it looks like now. We put these out here. So the fence is cleared. These are the shampoo ginger. Yeah. I'm worried about the glare for people being able to see, but yes, it is very pretty. So we did the weed eater, and we did so now these are back. So now I need to do this area. So now the whole question is, I don't want to really come out any further. I don't really want to come out any further than here. So there's a little bit of room there. I don't think that's enough to fit all that. So we'll have to keep coming to the right. Because I don't think I created. I got a little bit of space here, but that point is as far out from this stack right here. I don't want to come out any further from the fence. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4. That's like 4 rows. I don't want to come out any further. So to make enough room, I need to pull these out and rake there. Rake and weed eat there. Because we don't want to come out like here. We don't want to come out any further than like right here from the fence. That's like 4 feet maybe. We don't want to come out any further than 4 feet. Can see perfectly. Well, I appreciate that. I'm having problems with this. We're gonna probably need to put another thing on that to make it straight. Well, I don't know. That's not too bad. Okay, they fit. That's good. Okay, yeah, I've got some that are fitting. That's a good sign. That saves room. Ah, the ones I'm moving fit. That's high. Yeah, that's kind of too high. I got room for 1 gallon behind them, so that's good. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yep. Any stack that can stack on top of the stack is good. Here's a, here's there's a half. Yeah, this area right here might be used for plants spring, but for right now, when you start moving from like the little pots that they started, and then you move them up to a half gallon, and then you move them to a gallon, that's where you, if you're wondering where, once we get it rolling in spring, that's where all these, if you're wondering when these pots will be useful, so they won't be in here anymore because they'll have plants in them. But for right now, it's a matter of space. So these should fit here in a minute. I was able to move all these to here. So that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff. Like I found the other day some square pots. We have some more square pots right here. Square pots are good because that gives customers another size. So where they were the other day, that's these I found. They'll go stack right on top. So now we barely even need a weed eater on this because the grass can't really grow if the pots are on top of it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rebuild this. I'm gonna have to put another. Actually, did I already drill a hole there? I can't even pull that out. I need to get a pair of pliers. I need to rebuild my camera thing here. Yep, right now we'll put that right there because we want the bigger one in the back. The 1 gallon there is good. This is a smaller one. I think I had it placed in a smaller one. Yeah, from what I can tell, they'll 100% fit here. Yep, 100%. Might even have some room left over from what I can tell. These are the 1 gallons that are gonna come in really handy. So you'll see as I move, for example, like green beans, once I don't grow them yet, I grow them in spring. And you'll see green beans and tomatoes. Thinking about, I said earlier, I'm thinking about putting doing the green beans, or not green beans, doing the starting tomatoes and habaneros, and bell peppers today, now. And if they get going, then it's just a matter of whether or not they can survive our winter here. We've already got some cold temperatures. A couple days ago, it was in the 30s. Here's some more little ones. And these are half gallons, but they're a different dimension. This is what's important. These are half gallons that are fatter and taller, or fatter and more shallow. Having different dimensions helps. Like these are 2 gallon instead of 1 gallon. They're fatter and different dimension than the 1 gallon. That helps too, having different sizes. Here's another little one. So this is what I ended up with room left over, which is really good. Hello, Mary Bursch. How are you? And so this area didn't even need all that room. So as we go through here, that'll be good. The whole point is to clear, so everything from the cart was able to go out. I need to air up. 2 of my tires are low, and that makes it harder to move things. So you can see the leaves. The leaves I pulled out are important with snakes. So this whole all this is what I went through, so I don't have to worry about the fence line until the leaves fall again. And funny enough, here, I don't know why this is, but you would think the leaves will fall like now. No, a lot of the leaves fall. Believe it or not, in the once it gets into like January, February. So believe it or not, our leaves do not. They'll keep falling until like March. I don't know why our leaves don't fall the same time you'd think they would fall. But yeah, these leaves are not from this time of year. That's just neglect. That's just straight up neglect. So now the bamboo, these are bamboo I cut in January, and that's what made my plant take off like crazy, which created the new bamboo plants. So if you cut bamboo like that, like those cuttings are going to be for tomato stakes in the spring. Those bamboo made bamboo spring up, and that's what these are. And then the ones that were already at a 3-gallon, I moved them to a 10-gallon. And the 10-gallon ones, as you'll see right here, this is brand new. That right there is a brand new plant. So as you can see, these bamboo are doing well. And this is the big plant that I cut, and then that created wherever you can see where I come. Like here, that's a bamboo, that's where you come. And where I cut them, they were this tall or a little bit shorter. They're like 25 feet now. And so well, actually that might not be 25 feet. I'm 6 foot. They're at least twice as me, so they're at least 12. I think they're 15, but they're really tall. They might be 20. Yeah, you can see if you step away, how tall. It's taller than the house. I don't know how tall the house is. So yeah, the bamboo goes crazy if you cut it. So if you've got somebody who cuts bamboo and then the bamboo takes off and you're wondering why, yeah, just cutting it, that's what a lot of landscapers make the mistake. They'll just cut the bamboo, not realizing that's going to stimulate it to grow. In fact, I found another one here where it's growing out of the ground. That's a brand new plant, but it's not one of the tall stalks. It's just like the one here. It's a smaller plant. In fact, it could be from one of these big ones. It may not be from the main plant. There's the foxtail fern right there. That was my mother's before she passed away. So we need to water. Make sure to water the cranberry hibiscus so those cuttings have a chance. Some of the cuttings are doing better than others. Like here, that cutting is doing good. Some of these are doing good, but some of them are still wilted. So with the cold temperature, I don't know if they'll be able to root correctly. You'll see some of them are doing better than others. So we need to make sure they have water. These are the baby papaya. And here, I don't know if you can see with the light the way it is. But we've got baby papaya. I don't know if you can see that. Bad lighting, but you sure can here. That one's low. That one's as tall as me. That's easier to see. This one, however, is trying to compete with the bamboo to see who can grow higher. So yeah, if I don't lose the bamboo, they'll have fruit, because those are little itty bitty tiny. After the flower falls off, behind the flower, that's where the fruit is. A lot of plants work that way. These are the lemon trees. These are snake plants, and those are the peace lilies. So we need to put away the tools and then water. So I'll probably be ending the live soon. Yeah, the papaya. Yeah, they is that tomato plant still alive? I thought it was dead. Nope, it's alive and we have flowers. There's parts of it that's dead. There's parts of it. Huh. I thought it was completely died. Yeah, to have a tomato plant still alive in November. Freaking crazy. Mary Birch, where if you don't mind me asking, where did you say you were from? You said you got papaya? Are you in South America? In Central America? These are the baby the green onions that I don't know if you can hear. Let's get you a good angle. Yeah, the green onions that I planted and they're growing. Where you cut the green onion, you can plant it. And oh, you're in Kenya? I don't even know where that is. Is Kenya in Africa? I don't even know. I think Kenya is in Africa. My geography is bad. I didn't know that in Africa they could grow papayas. I guess if it's in the, you should be near, if you're near the equator, you have to be, the closer you are to the equator, because here, like in South Florida, we can grow, like if I was 5 hours south, I don't have to worry as much about some of my tropical stuff. Papaya grow better in the heat. They do not, if it gets like 30, 40, they do not do very well with that. So we're gonna put away the weed eater. Yeah, if it's near the equator, in fact, Ecuador is crazy. They're always like 76 degrees. They're in, I believe, Central America. I think they're right on the edge between Central and South America. Yeah, but the closer you are to the equator, you should be able to grow papaya. But I want other fruit trees this year, because once you get some vegetables like some bell peppers and some tomatoes, and if you have strawberries actually right now I need to buy about 2 weeks from now, if I have the money. I need to get into the strawberries again. I've grown them in the past, because when you go to sell, if you have fruit, I might eventually do the vegetables and fruit too, but you have to have enough to sell them on their own. You have to have enough. It's easier to just sell the plant. You have to have a lot of fruit, because if you just got a couple tomatoes and a couple peppers, they ain't gonna be interested. You gotta have baskets full. All right, so we'll probably end the live. Everyone have a good day. Mary, it was nice to meet you. I hope Kenya is well today, and everybody have a wonderful day.